Alright, ghouls and gals, like all my new movie reviews, I'm gonna keep it short, sweet, simple, and to the motherfucking point. Alright, let's get it started. John Henry stars Terry Crews as the titular character, John Henry, and the film also stars Chris Ludacris Bridges, which I find that utterly fucking hilarious when, like, rappers try to, church up their name, make their name sound a little bit fancier. In this case, Ludacris, and he goes by Chris Bridges now. And it's the same thing with, like, The Rock, how The Rock, he used to go by just The Rock, and now he's Dwayne Johnson, or Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I just find it kind of fucking ridiculous. Like, just go by the name that everybody knows you by. Everybody's gonna keep calling you The Rock. Everybody's gonna keep calling you Ludacris. Nobody's gonna call you Chris Bridges. Nobody's gonna call you Dwayne Johnson. They're gonna call you the fucking Rock. Okay? Right? Did we get that out of the way? Alright. Can we continue with the movie review? I think we can. Can we? Okay, let's do it. Alright, I want to start off this review by saying, if I were to say John Henry was a slow-burning film, that would be a gross fucking understatement. This film is so fucking slow-burning that it doesn't even fucking burn at all. Yup, I'm just nailing them out of the fucking park today, guys. I'm just fucking throwing them up, setting them up for myself, and fucking knocking them out of the park. But yeah, seriously, this movie is really fucking boring. This movie takes its motherfucking sweet-ass time to get to the good bits. This movie wants to have this drawn-out story and wants you to care about these characters, but it's so poorly acted that you don't give a fuck about these characters. And that says a lot about the level of actor that Terry Crews and Ludacris are. There's a reason why Ludacris' role in the Fast and the Furious movies gets smaller and smaller by every single passing film. He's not that great of an actor. It's just that he has been in those films since the start, so they can't kick him out now because everybody expects him to be in those films, even though his part is so minuscule. So yeah, they kind of give him a lot to do here, and he doesn't live up to it. Ludacris can't hold up a movie by himself. There's a reason why he's always second fiddle or plays a really small part. I mean, honestly, I think his best movie role to date was like Hustle and Flow, and he was in that movie out of like 4 minutes, and like 2 of those 4 minutes were spent like of him literally asleep during his performance. Also, Terry Crews, I mean, he's an enigma to me, Terry Crews. Like, he's everything that somebody that looks like him shouldn't be. And it's not a racist thing. I'm saying that he's a big buff guy and that he shouldn't be into games and he shouldn't be into poetry and painting and all the other cool shit that he's into. Okay? So don't fucking attack me. I was talking about something else. But yeah, I really like Terry Crews, but he's an enigma to me in the sense that he is 100% built for action, and he should be a big, huge action star like Stallone and Schwarzenegger, but it feels so forced seeing him do action. In this film, John Henry, it feels so fucking forced seeing Terry Crews trying to portray this like wise, weed-smoking badass that's trying to be like this kind of like Zen John Wick. And it just feels really forced. Like I was waiting for him to do something funny or break out into like a dance or start singing like Michelle Branch or something. Yeah, I was looking for that. And I mean, not that I was expecting for this movie to be comedic. I mean, because it didn't really look like it was going to be comedic, but I wasn't really sure on the tone of this film because this was the first thing that I saw from this film. So I was going into this film thinking, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be like a gory, non-stop action, blaxploitation film that's going to be like this cool B-movie classic that's going to be fucking awesome. And it wasn't that. Like, at the last 15 minutes of this movie are kind of cool. They're over the top, they're gory, people's heads are getting smashed in. If this movie was that the entire time, oh my god, I would have loved this fucking movie. Instead, we kind of get this soap opera about 2 rival gangs, a black gang and a Mexican gang. They're going head to head, and John Henry gets stuck in the middle of it when a girl from the Mexican gang escapes some sort of like meeting that they had set up where the black gang was having a prostitution ring that the Mexican people were breaking up, and in the middle of all that, this girl leaves and she ends up at John Henry's house, and that's how John Henry gets involved. And it's your standard action movie plot. Male buff savior man comes to save woman or get somebody out of danger, and in the middle of that he beats up a lot of people. But yeah, wow. This film, I mean, it had so much wasted potential, and that really bothered me the most about this film, is that it could have been good. That's the number one thing that bothers me about certain films. Like, certain films, they have everything there. They have all the ingredients to make a fucking awesome pie, but instead they make a shit sandwich, and it's just like, oh, why aren't you a better fucking cook? Oh, I know why, because this was your fucking cook. And he is I don't want to say a terrible director, because this is the only thing that I've seen of his, but this dude right here, hopefully he didn't edit this film, because this film has some of the worst editing that I've ever seen in a film. It has these kind of like cutaway sequences where they go to like a flashback where it shows John Henry in his early life, and he was like a gangbanger, and it does this effect. It does the VHS like vaporwave type effect, and it does it so much that it becomes fucking jarring, and I felt like I was stuck in one of those like aesthetic YouTube videos where like it has like Homer Simpson really sad over like a VHS filter. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, did I step into like an E-Boys fucking YouTube playlist or something? But yeah, that editing was really fucking jarring, and it was just like, we could have done with that. We could have done with that, like done without all that. Another thing this movie does, this. Yeah, it does that a lot. Did you like that? Did you like that black screen with no sound whatsoever? Yeah, John Henry does that a lot. That's another thing John Henry does a lot. It says its name a fuck ton. Everybody that John Henry meets in this movie refers to him by his full name. Like, that is the weirdest fucking thing to me ever. In your normal everyday life, do you go up to people and refer to them by their entire full name? That'd be like somebody coming up to me and being like, hey Ryan Torres, how are you doing, Ryan Torres? Are you having a good day, Ryan Torres? That sounds really fucking weird, doesn't it? Yeah, so imagine hearing that throughout an entire 83-minute long movie of people just constantly going, John Henry, is that you? Huh, John Henry. That's another thing. The title of this movie is misleading as fuck. I was going in this movie thinking like, oh, this is going to be a spin on the John Henry tale where it's like this hard-willed slave, he defeats adversity, and he's like this guy, he carries a big hammer, he's a strong-willed fucking guy. And yeah, Terry Crews is strong-willed, but he's not John Henry. He's just named John Henry. Early on in the movie, they make it really, really fucking clear that he's not John Henry. He was named after the John Henry, who in this universe is also a storybook character. And, I want to know what they told Terry Crews to get him into this movie. Did they tell him that he was gonna come out in a fucking cinematic universe with Paul Bunyan and Tom Sawyer, and they were gonna make this 1950s storybook type fucking Avengers film or something? I really want to fucking know. And did Ludacris think that he was gonna be their fucking Thanos by wearing this type of shit? These are the questions that plague my fucking mind. And I want to know the answers to these questions. So Netflix, if you're watching, please fucking comment below and let me know what the fuck happened and what the fuck you were thinking. Also, now that I bring up Netflix, isn't it so fucking weird that every single Netflix film has to bring up Netflix in some aspect, in some way, shape, or form? Like in this movie, there's these two dudes having a conversation, and one of them just goes, "Hey, you should watch The Human Centipede. It's on Netflix." And I'm like, oh god, I fucking hate that. I hate that as much as I fucking hate when somebody says the name of the movie in the movie. Which they do in this fucking movie! Yeah. So yeah, in summary, John Henry is a poorly acted, predictable film that squandered so much potential, and it could have been a cult classic film, and it could have been a really fun film, but instead, for some reason, I don't understand why the fuck they did this, decided to be the most boring fucking thing that I've seen during this entire fucking quarantine. I'm a fucking huge movie fan. Obviously, I run a fucking film reviewing channel. And you could see my fucking, and you could probably fucking guess my excitement. You could probably see my fucking face when I found out that a new movie was actually fucking coming out. And then you could probably guess my reaction after fucking viewing said movie. So yeah. In summary, I'm gonna give John Henry 4.5 out of 10. And the only reason I'm not giving it less is because I like Terry Crews. And this movie did have potential. I'm Ryan T, and I'll see you in the fucking next one. No, wait! Before I go, I talked about my Twitch channel on the last video, which you can watch right here. And I'm doing Friday Night Horror Theater there now. Every Friday, 7:30 p.m. is when I'll be streaming. So make sure you check out twitch.tv/The Ryan T Show and follow me there. And I'll see you in the next one.